Hello. Welcome to College Cash. I am Money Michelle. Remember, this is a podcast all about keeping money in your pocket during your application journey. And Miss Money Michelle is here to guide you to information that are nuggets of information worth thousands of dollars. Hope you're going to have a great Saturday with me here today. I'm going to start off right off the bat with just getting real. University of Florida, if you are out there and you're trying to go to University of Florida and you haven't started your application yet, shame, shame, shame on you. University of Florida this year has a complete and total deadline of November 1st. Now, that is coming up on Wednesday. I want you to see something. Hopefully you can see the screen here behind me. The application opened for University of Florida August 8th. And so my family's out there. Maybe you're not seniors, maybe you don't have a senior, but maybe you're a junior, sophomore, I don't know, middle schooler. What I need you to understand is that the college application season is getting earlier and earlier. So I just want you to see right here for University of Florida where it says application due November 1st, meaning application must be submitted no later than 11:59 p.m. I'm telling you this because typically November 1st is your priority application deadline. Not this year, not for University of Florida. The next deadline, March 1st, is only for a space available basis. So I know we talked a lot about deadlines last weekend because I wanted to give you a whole week to actually work on your applications. This weekend is kind of like a hope you did it, because if you didn't, you don't have a lot of time left. All right, so like I said, University of Florida due this Wednesday, November 1st. Now, a couple of other things I want to skip through. UCF, a very interesting thing I found on their deadline application website. It says freshman application completion deadlines for fall, May 1st, spring, November 1st, summer, March 1st. All right, so you think, great, I got a lot of time. Remember, I'm Money Michelle, navigating you to nuggets of information worth thousands of dollars. Here's one of them. Note, freshman scholarships. Now, this is for UCF. Says big and bold on the website, application deadline May 1st, summer deadline March 1st. Note, the scholarship priority deadline for FTIC students, that's code for first time in college, and also code for, if you don't know, you probably think it's not you, and then you're going to miss out on this money. So if you're a first time in college, that's what FTIC means. That's you if it's your first time ever setting foot on a college campus. If you took dual enrollment classes in high school, you are not a college student. You are still an FTIC. You have dual enrollment classes, listen to me. You're still a first time in college student. So make sure you understand that code. Starting over again. The scholarship priority deadline, go get somebody, because right now somebody needs this information, because I'm telling you right now this nugget of information is worth a lot. So I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. Grandma, sister, auntie, whoever, you better go get that senior that's sitting on the couch over there chilling, thinking they got till March, April, May to do their applications. They do. They do if you want to pay full price for college. All right, and I was even excited myself to find this nugget of information, because it's deep, deep, deep into the UCF website. Okay, the scholarship priority deadline for FTIC students applying for summer and fall. For summer and fall. Do you see the magic date right there? November 1st. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, November 1st. People are probably looking at websites, seeing the fall dates of, final application, March, April, May, whenever. Oh, we got plenty of time. Yeah, you do, like I said, if you want to pay full price. The scholarship priority deadline for first time in college students applying for summer and fall is November 1st. First time in college students, now this is for UCF, should submit a complete application for admission, including the application fee or the waiver, the Spark form, which is very similar to the SSAR that I've been talking about. Spark form is UCF's own version of basically a way to put your grades and your information and your transcripts into their particular system because they want it unified. These schools are getting thousands. And when I say thousands, I mean like 65, 70, 75,000 applications. So every single transcript from every single high school looks completely different. Well, they're sick of that. So they want you to put your information into their system the way that they want it. UCF wants the Spark form. Other schools may want the SSAR. Some schools just do want your regular transcript. But in any case, all right, a complete application includes the application fee, the Spark form, an official SAT, ACT, or CLT test score by November 1st for priority scholarship consideration. Notice what this line says here. Scholarship funding is limited. The scholarship committee reviews admitted FTIC students until all scholarship funding has been allocated. Oh, look at this. It says it's usually exhausted by mid-January. I didn't read that far. So that's why you got to get this stuff done by November 1st. So that was my, biggest nugget that I kind of dug through to find for UCF, because it blatantly says you have plenty of time to apply. But then hidden in that website, it says November 1st if you want some money. All right, I'm going to quickly go through New College application process. Once again, the Common App. We talked specifically about the Common App last weekend, so if you'd like to, of course, review that particular link, you can. Bezel, how do people get to the old links? He'll probably tell me a little bit.
YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube?
InTouchNews.com.
So it's InTouchNews.com in YouTube. You can actually review some of our older shows where I take you through these deadlines. I took you step by step through the Common App last week, so we don't have to do that again this weekend. Once again, New College is wanting the SSAR. They're wanting your ACT, CLT, your SAT scores. They don't have an application fee, so that's kind of cool. But again, there it is, early action, November 1st. So really important for you to understand to start those applications. All right, who else? Now, all I can do is shake my head. If you thought, because this is a thought right about now, if you thought you were going to FSU and you didn't turn all your stuff in October 15th, I don't know what to tell you. I will say this, though. I'm really excited that if you did get all your stuff in by October 15th, and you've heard of what's called the CARES program, they are giving you additional time to fill out your CARES application. So if you got an email from FSU indicating that you expressed interest in the CARES program, you have more time. Also, College Board is straight up tripping. I don't know where people's SAT scores are, because I know that there were a big wave of students that took the SAT around October 7th, October 10th. There was a couple of in-school SATs. So I thought you would have your score back by now. If you do, great. If you don't, I'm so sorry to tell you, but there is good news. There's light at the end of the tunnel. FSU is actually giving you until December 1st. So if you have better scores coming from College Board or from ACT, you can still submit those scores. You need to go into your College Board account right now, make sure that you have allocated to send the scores to FSU or your other schools, because they're not going to magically get there by the SAT score sender ferry. You go into College Board, and if you don't know your login, you got to reset your password. It's a lot, but you can still do it, okay? Because they're giving you until December 1st to get your additional scores updated, and that's FSU. Now, your application, I don't feel sorry for you, because I've been screaming. How long have I been saying October 15th for FSU? About 3-4 shows now, right? Yep, I'm getting some head shaking. Yes, I have. I've told all of you October 15th. I told you that for FAMU, too, for that presidential scholarship, too. So we've been talking about this for a while. All right, so let's see. What's FIU talking about? Now, one of them, yeah, it's FIU. FIU got a little sneaky this year, too, in regards to their scholarship money. They worded it as you needed to be admitted by a certain date. So what exactly does that mean? That means your application should have been done by October 23rd. So FIU, they got one in on us, but I tried to catch it and tried to tell you about it. Okay, who else do we have? Florida Gulf Coast, what are they up to? It looks like you're getting for fall freshman early action date. And the good thing about these early action dates, you're going to get your decision in December. Can you imagine knowing where you're going to college by Christmas? Isn't that going to just be a, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a senior in high school and it's about to be Thanksgiving and Christmas, what's the first thing grandma gonna ask you? So where you going to school? What's the first thing your mama's auntie, your sister, everybody is gonna ask you, where are you going to school around Christmas? The answer that you don't want to have is, I don't know. So in order to avoid that, get your stuff in by November 1st. All right, FAU, what are they talking about? Applications are reviewed on a rolling basis. So they say, hey, rolling basis, turn it in whenever. Look at this. Student in bold, once you know exactly where to go, and that's some of the research that I did. I went into each of the state university system schools' websites to really dig in there and find out their true scholarship deadline, priority application deadline, early action deadline, and they're all different. So, of course, it says rolling basis for FAU, but it says students who complete their application by November 1st, priority application deadline, will be considered for all pathways. What the heck is a pathway? Well, they have the Jump Start, so you can start late June to August. They have the Academic Success Program, the STEM Bridge Program, the Spring. So they give you various opportunities to make it into the school as long as you apply by that November 1st priority application deadline. So I've gone through quite a few of the SUS schools. Now, I want you to understand, this is an interactive show. I messed up last week. I didn't even know my own email address. It is moneymichelle03 at Gmail. So if you emailed me last weekend and I played you crazy, I apologize. I didn't realize I needed the 03. Of course, my husband reminded me of that when I got home. So it's moneymichelle03 at Gmail. And I'm going to try to monitor my Gmail account as I'm sitting here throughout the show. Or you can, of course, always call in. And you see the number behind me. Bezel, what's that number behind me right there? 813-444-9588. So I think you can see it behind my big head, but I've been told I have a really extra. Oh, you see it in front of me. Okay, good. So it's up there. So you can either email me at moneymichelle03 or you can call in at 813-444-9588. Now we're going to, in just a few minutes, about 7 minutes, we have an exciting guest. She's one of my most favorite people in the educational industry. In fact, if I really have to say so, other than, of course, my husband, thank the Lord, who has blessed me with being able to do this. So I'm super, super thankful. But Dr. Karji Scott also influenced me and encouraged me to, just get up off my behind and do something. Because I was talking to her a couple of years ago, furious about everyone not knowing this November 1st deadline. And she said, hey, you need to have a show. You need to do something. You used to be in TV. Why don't you use your skills? And I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah. So Dr. Karji Scott really, really encouraged me to kind of get this rolling. And she actually has her own show up in Jacksonville. So we're going to kind of like share shows, because putting together a whole hour of content really kind of takes a while if you have a full-time job, which she definitely does. And she also has a full-time nonprofit. So we'll be talking to, and I love her book, Dr. Karji Scott. The name of her book is You Are Accepted, How to Get Accepted into College and Life. And we'll talk about how you can get an autographed book from the Education Equalizer. So we'll discuss her book that is, of course, available for you to read. And then we're also going to discuss exactly what an education equalizer is. What is the educationequalizers.org? What is that nonprofit all about? So that's going to be coming up in just a few minutes. And then we're also going to touch base again on the Common Black app, because, again, that's another one of my favorite ways, in addition to the Common app, for students to apply to HBCUs. I haven't talked a lot about the HBCUs deadline dates because I just want to make sure. A lot of people in Florida like to stay in Florida. My FAMU folks, I want to make sure that everyone understands the situation here in Florida. And then as we move on throughout the year, we're going to talk more about the HBCUs. But I will tell you this, Hampton, Howard, They do have a couple of November 1st priority deadlines as well. I encourage you, if there are some schools that you want to go to, especially Hampton and Howard, Xavier, I know about those specifically because my son was able to get quite a few scholarships from those schools, all by applying when? Before November 1st. So we'll be talking a little bit more about that in the next coming weeks. But right now, I certainly want to encourage you to call in, email. And I love the fact that Dr. Karji Scott's going to be calling in a few minutes, but she's going to have an ACT SAT prep workshop. That's actually going to be coming up on Tuesday, November 7th. She's going to talk to us all about her new ACT SAT prep workshops that she's going to be doing on a regular basis. They're only $75. You're getting about 3 hours of prep time. SAT prep can cost you thousands of dollars. So for her to be giving it to you for just $75, make sure you stay tuned. We will be right back with College Cash on Money Michelle.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
In Touch Radio, where you can listen to a cruising flow of smooth soul and jazz, today's R&B, a fun touch of hip-hop and gospel.
All my music on one station.
Giving you a buffet of music, news, and entertainment. We're In Touch Radio.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen or sundown. 1-84361-RICK. That's 1-84361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 1-84361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Now 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
You've been injured, you deserve help from an attorney that knows how to handle your injury claim. This is attorney Clinton Paris from the law office of Clinton Paris. For over a decade, I worked for insurance companies, and now I use that knowledge and experience to help people that have been injured. For a free consultation, call me, attorney Clinton Paris, at 813-413-7924. That's 813-413-7924, or at parislawoffice.com. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt. Offices, Riverview.
Perfect timing. Hello, welcome back to College Cash. I am Money Michelle, navigating you to nuggets of information worth thousands of dollars. I talked about her coming on in just a few minutes, and it is time. Dr. Karji Scott, thank you so very much for your time today. I'm so excited to hear all about your educational journey, and I have right up here the thing we're going to be talking about right off the bat is you're accepted. How to get accepted into college and life. And we need to tell people how to get that autographed book of you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much, Michelle, for the opportunity to share a little bit about my journey. Thank you. I'm doing great. Doing great. Just excited to be here.
Well, I was telling everyone before, I don't know if you were able to hear me or not, but I am thankful to you for even encouraging me and motivating me and giving me that big swift kick in the behind that I've needed for years to actually get this show going. So without you, there would be no me, and of course my husband, who of course really put all this together.
Oh,
Always gotta say thank you to you.
That really makes my heart smile, Michelle. That makes my heart smile.
I don't know if you remember. We were on the boat. What was it? Maybe 2 years ago or so, talking about
during Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. So if you're wondering how Dr. Karji Scott and I met, it was actually a Mother's Day weekend. And I had a lot of students at the house, and she was so gracious enough to come to our home and talk specifically about getting into college, your college applications, and just the process of what you needed to go through to a group of, really a group of my son's friends. So that's how we first hit it off and met, and then we started just kind of, I think it was sort of, we were commiserating with each other on how much information people just don't know. It's crazy. So,
and how it is our responsibility as the people with the knowledge to share the knowledge with those that don't know, because the reason why we have the knowledge is because someone told us. You know, at one point we didn't know.
Yep.
And so now we have to, share what we know with those who don't know.
And I think that's a very important point for anyone listening out there. If you think that, for yourself, for your own children, it was kind of, you got the internet, you research it, you can do it. That's great that you were able to figure it out, but you have to just double check. If you know kids out there in your church, in your inner circle, just double check with them to make sure that they understand the process. So we're going to talk extensively about that. But Dr. Scott, the first thing I want to understand is your journey, because when I read your book, I was blown away. I had no idea what it was going to be about. I know that you wrote the book and you were telling me about it, but talk to me about that journey in what happened to you and what inspired you to write that book.
Yes. Well, firstly, feel free, we're not on air. You call me Karji. Feel free to call me Karji on air too. I wrote that book during the pandemic. I think that many of us were trying to figure out, okay, wow, the entire world has shut down. Will it ever turn on again? And what will it look like when it does? And am I living my life to its fullest potential? Do I have any regrets? What is going to be my next plan when things get back to our new normal? What does our new normal look like, et cetera, et cetera? And so going through that experience in 2020, it encouraged me to, write down my thoughts, write down what I've learned so far, write down where I want to be next. And so that's where You Are Accepted, How to Get Accepted into College and Life came from. I just was in a place where many of us were, where we were trying to figure out, what's next. But in order to figure out what's next, you have to truly own what you've already been through, the choices that you've made to cause what has happened in your life, and then some of the cards that you were dealt at birth that you otherwise can't change. That is just with, where you were born and stuff. So the book just starts off with owning my story and how I am a Southsider, born and raised on 35th and Calumet, and how, based upon where you live, that dictates the quality of education that you're going to receive in most cases, unless you have, a family that can send you somewhere else. They didn't have, back in the 80s when I was growing up, they didn't have the charter schools and they didn't have as many private schools and stuff. But
so Karji, I want to stop you right there. You mentioned your address. You said you're a Southsider, 35th and Calumet. Now, I know where that is because I have a husband from Chicago. But tell me about that area. Tell me about that environment.
Yes. Well, it's complete opposite of where my kids are living. I'll tell you that.
And it's really nothing like that in Tampa Bay either. I mean, people think, that we have, and we do, we have lower income areas, but nothing like where you lived. And just explain what that is like so that people can get the perspective of what it's really like here in Tampa Bay versus what it's like Southside Chicago.
Yeah, well, I grew up at the height of the crack epidemic. I saw things that I'm thankful to God that my children will never see as a result of that epidemic, where families were taken apart due to their addictions. I saw a lot of gangs, and the majority of the kids who were striving for success and who saw success thought that success was joining a gang because they saw gang members with the fancy cars and the women. I didn't see many people with college degrees. So if you don't have a college degree, then you're working in an hourly wage job, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But we know that the more knowledge you have, the more education you have, the more opportunities you have. And in fact, there's certain jobs that you can't even consider if you don't have a college degree, like a judge or a lawyer or a doctor or a teacher, et cetera. So as a result